Hello everyone and welcome to At a Glance. This is your host the Pixel Pirate delivering previews of the latest and greatest games from the Gamosphere. Today we are looking at Transistor. Transistor is a action strategy RPG and is developed by Supergiant Games. So let's see what the game is all about. You play as Red, this character here, and Transistor is actually your weapon. It might look like a sword, but it's kind of not. The sword actually talks and you can't. So here we are, we're coming up to an encounter. This is the combat of the game. So, let's just pause it here for a second. This is actually the turn-based section of the game, but I just wanted to pause it here just to show you what is going on around the map here. As you can see, we are actually sectioned off here. This is sort of like an arena style of combat, and you can either play by just attacking the enemies in real time, or you can come into this turn-based element of the game. Now, as opposed to other, what I might deem action RPGs, this game doesn't have an ordinary attack. Every attack that you do is a super attack, or a skill, if you like. So we've got 4 skills at the bottom here, and we'll get more into those when we sort of look at access points and how you swap and change all these abilities around. But needless to say, in the turn-based, I can actually attack things by setting it out. So this is my sort of area attack. So that's as many as I can do. As you can see up the top, the actual attack is called Spark. I can only do it a certain amount of times. I can undo all those if I want to. I might want to instead maybe move over here, which actually takes a portion of my action points. I might undo that as well. I can move over here, or do any number of moves I want, and then attack, or any combination thereof. As long as you can fit it within the actual action bar, then you are good to go. So we might move over here. We're going to attack these weed-looking things. Oops, I made a mistake there. I'm going to attack these weed-looking things because they kind of help quite a bit, help the enemy to actually regen health. So, oops. Okay, let's move down here. And we'll attack this cheerleader, and that is all I can do. So, when I come out of turn-based, it'll perform all the attacks and movements that I have planned out. So I'm going to do that now. And as you can see, it actually moves quite fast. And after my attack, of course I collect the cells, which I'll get to a little bit later. But everything's on cooldown then, so I can't actually attack in real time for about 2 or 3 seconds. But you can get sort of abilities that make that cooldown slightly better. Okay, so that's actually blocked. So what I might need to do is move over here and then attack that. Okay. So the enemies in the game are really, really interesting. Oh wow, I actually missed that attack there. So I'm going to attack in real time for a second here. The attack is, sorry, the combat rather, I should say, is fast and furious, is for sure. And you can get stuck out. Now, if you lose all your health, you don't actually die, you just lose one of your abilities. And that happens about 3 times, and then that is the real death, I suppose. So I'm down to about halfway here, so I'm actually going to use my turn-based, and we'll finish off that. Now, you might notice it actually tells me how much health it's going to take off, and whether or not like what I'm doing is overkill. So that's by 20, so I just need just the 1 there. Now, just because you've planned it out doesn't mean that it's actually going to work the way you want it to. For example, if you have a knockback ability with one of your attacks, it might knock that person back and then every other attack after that misses. So it's not 100%, the turn-based elements of the game is not 100%. Okay, let's do that. I'm happy with that. Attack there. So as you can see, the young lady there on the right hand of the screen, she actually moved away from me and was unable to get all my attacks in there. So that's just a really good example of how it can go bad for you. So let's try that again, and hopefully that will finish her off. It does indeed. No, it doesn't actually. Okay. As you can see, the top bar does regen. It takes a little bit of time for that to happen, so you need to be aware of that. And you can, you do have abilities, for example, Jaunt, which allows you to kind of, I guess, teleport away or move really fast in a different direction. So just like this, like that and that. So some abilities admittedly do not have cooldowns. They just allow you to, or they have very short cooldowns, I should say, like half a second or something like that. So let's just use all our attacks on her. See, I've done it again accidentally there. And I have to go through all my attacks there. I am nearly quite dead. And that is me. So I've lost Jaunt. I've lost the ability to sort of teleport around. That is the combat of the game, the long and short of it. As you can see, I get all my health back. I don't get Jaunt back. I have to access this thing to get it back. I have to access a certain amount of them. These are called access points, and they allow you to change your abilities around. So we're going to have a play with one to show you a simplistic manner in which you can chop and change everything around. Now, as you can see, I have quite a few abilities. I have 6, in fact, but I've only got 4 slots in which I can use. However, we have sub-slots or sub-attacks. Now, the interesting thing about this game is you've got active upgrade slots and passive effects too, which I haven't upgraded yet. But as you can see, the active slot, I should say, for this spark attack launches fast, unstable shells that split into explosive particles. If I decided to use that as a sub-attack and put it down in the sub-attack section, it would instead split and subdivide most functions for greater results. So let's remove that. We'll put that in as a main function here. Install. As you can see, you have memory as well. Everything takes memory. So let's go back. As you can see, they have a sort of little lines here. This one's got 2, this one's got 3, this one's only got 1. That's how much memory it takes up. And I've got a maximum of 16 memory. So I can't just put everything everywhere that I want to. Additionally, everything is locked down until you unlock it as you progress in levels. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a subroutine into Spark. And I think bounce might be a good idea. Chain reactive. So its upgrade slot effect adds a chain reactive effect to most functions. So let's do that. Let's put that in there. And it tells you exactly what it does. So basically, Spark will ricochet from its point of impact, causing a secondary impact. So we'll install that. As you can see, the memory is now gone for that. You can also click on these and inspect them.
It's Nyla. Everybody said she split after Goldwalk Channel opened up.
So every power is, I think, a person, or it's linked to a person. You're not exactly sure in the story, but yes, it has a background and everything. So and actually, as you can see, is the decryption process. You actually get more of the story over time. So as you unlock and decrypt more of the story, you can read more of it. So that's a lot of where you get the lore of the game. And you can go to upgrades, and this gives you every combination of bounce with whatever else you have, and tells you exactly what it'll do. So you can get all those details. Then you got actual details as well. You got the active slot effect, full details, the upgrade slot effect, full details, and the passive slot effect, full details. And I'll just show you. Let's see here. Let's select a function. So these 4 that are locked, these are passive effects. So I can put those in there and they'll get a passive effect. But that's a bit later on in the game. So that is about it for today. If you liked what you saw today and you have any comments, or you would like to share your experiences with the game, you can do so by commenting below. And if you'd like to know more about the game, you can head on over to the Gamepedia wiki, linked in the description. This has been your host, the Pixel Pirate. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you next time.